stay poppin'. Look, see, I was the high school slick Rick, I was styling. Fat gold chain with an African medallion. Hip-hop connoisseur and rolling 20 trippin'. Rap game real tight, freestyle was magnificent. All about the clout and all about my dividends. Them older couldn't tell me different. I need a roundaway girl to live in. Showtime at the Apollo. I'm about the bottom. Take two and pull water.
For beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in week 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Devin Singletary. He played in his state at Florida Atlantic. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Singletary again. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That's now consecutive 5-yard carries to pick up the first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On the counter, this is Singletary. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 7 yards there and a first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
They'll run on first down with Singletary. They'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. It's been a 7-carry opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And now they'll throw with Allen. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy. It's not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On play action, here's Tua. Tua hit, and the ball is out. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. That's out to the flat for Edmonds. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Hey, man! Bro, 52.
Tua now on first down. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Tua sets up to pass it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
97,
Here's Tua. And that is incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they've got to be breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief. The first time you throw the football winds up being picked, but fortunately for them, it does not lead to points.
Well, that tells you about team football, doesn't it? Everybody gets together. What's that term they use? Complementary football. Okay, he threw the pick. The defense got together and said, hey, let's shut them down. Let's not turn it into points. They did exactly that. Now he gets a fresh start, a clean slate. Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Play action. Now it's Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 16 more on that one and another first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. Going right back to Knox, and again a completion. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. We're scoreless after 1. An update from a game going on in Indianapolis. And the Chiefs have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. That's one we'll continue to watch here in Week 3 of the NFL season. Second down at 5. To the air, Allen. Got his man complete over the middle. That's McKenzie. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give more credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Allen going to try and throw on third down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Only able to gain a couple there, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. Oh, hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down, and the Dolphins' defense is able to hold.
4th down, and they take to the air, which really isn't a major surprise, but how about the coverage? They're able to bat it down.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Hey, hold period.
On second down, this is Edmonds. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive. The Dolphins are 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do.
Oh, looking for Ronald, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. And they'll get him down inside the red zone at the 14. It's also a gain of 14. First down.
A gain of 14. First down, Bills.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, congratulations to them. They come through defensively with another stop. And let's face it, this secondary, they've gone unchallenged so far in the first half.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Allen. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. To throw, it's Allen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Devin Singletary, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. The extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
After the sack on first down, Tua. Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. And the Bills are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. 2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Allen. And this, incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. A give up the middle to Singletary. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. So they're going for it, and here's Allen. And he completes it to the tight end, Knox. He'll get it inside the 20. Touchdown! Dawson Knox, 44 yards. And the Bills will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
52 blaster.
Play action. Now it's Tua. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the Bills are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And this one is incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
A final shot before half for Allen. Escaping the pressure right. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you out to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this 3rd quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Looking to pass. Tua. Caught by Wilson. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging, because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach, because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 95 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Right back to Singletary on 2nd down. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming. They go right back to Singletary. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Throwing on 1st down is Allen. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Touchdown, Bills. A great effort there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bills take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 21-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic. But if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. He'll swing that out to Edmonds. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Matt Milano drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 33. call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge. Chalk that up as their 1st sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
And he's going to go down again. Emmanuel Ogbah that time, able to drop him for a loss.
Back-to-back 9-sack seasons of Miami have firmly established Emmanuel Ogbah as the face of the Fins pass rush.
Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's Sam Martin now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Here's Hill on the return. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Dolphin football.
At their own 37-yard line.
Ready.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
The offense on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. From the gun, it's Tua. And my goodness, another interception. 20. And he is going to score. It's a pick-6 and a Bills touchdown.
But just add that to the list of great moments for this defense today. They've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick-6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick-6?
Here we go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Ready.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Now Tua. Got a man here, it's Wilson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
On 1st down, Tagovailoa gets this one to Hill.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 24-yard line. And again, it's Tagovailoa. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Tua going to throw. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Throwing on 2nd and long. Tua.
That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there.
Okay.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Tua sets up to pass it.
That's out to the flat for Edmonds.
Touchdown, Dolphins! Chase Edmonds from 19 yards away. And the Dolphins are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give credit for that. Too little, too late, but no zero. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
This one fielded at the 5.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, 4th quarter, and a chance if they want to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off.
Coming up on 2nd and 7.
A give, Singletary right side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
109 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Brings up 3rd and inches.
On 3rd down, they go with Sink. And it's a fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They'll give this to Singletary running right. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. So Allen's going to look to throw. Out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. That's caught at the 25.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So there is the big arm of Josh Allen on display. He can throw it as deep as anybody, and that was an absolute laser.
And for a while when this place opened, all the talk was about punts hitting the Giants scoreboard here in Arlington. I don't think we ever heard about a pass hitting the scoreboard, but that's probably about as close as you're going to get. That one was way up there.
And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Throwing now is Allen. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's a victory here for the Bucs.
Yeah. So that style not for you, but it's for me.